His men's 4x400 meter team gave the United States of America all they could handle. But for the second consecutive year, the Bahamas came up short at home in the grand finale of the IAAF BTC World Relays Bahamas 2015. The American team of David Verberg, Tony McQuay, Jeremy Werner, and LaShawn Merritt stopped the clock in a world-leading time of 2 minutes and 58.3 seconds to snatch the gold and shatter the Bahamas' hope for revenge as the team of Ramon Miller, Michael Matthew, rookie Stephen Gardner, and veteran Chris Fireman Brown had to settle for the silver. A lot of the cheering at the National Stadium was for Team Bahamas, as the stadium was looking for another upset. Although he gave it his all, Brown thanked God and the Bahamian people for their tremendous support. He said, quote, "We didn't get the goal, but nonetheless, we did our best. I think the future looks good for us. We have some work to do, and we need to get a few more races under our belts," end quote. Brown, the most decorated member of the men's team, praised Gardner for stepping up and taking on the challenge of trying to push the Bahamas in the lead at the third leg. Law enforcement had their hands full this week with 3 separate murders. In the first incident, police said a British man was shot to death while on his sailboat at Stewart's Cove Diving Center in western New Providence on Friday night. Police have identified him as Gary Van Hoek, a dive instructor and employee at the diving center who has been a resident in the Bahamas for a number of years and lived abroad with the boat and his wife at the dive center base. Reports are that around 10 p.m. on Friday, 2 men armed with handguns held up Mr. Van Hoek and demanded cash. The men shot him twice before fleeing the scene and leaving him to die. In another incident, a 27-year-old mother was discovered tied to a tree on Saturday morning, leaving family and friends seeking answers. Police have told the Tribune that murder has been ruled out. Jade Saunders' body was found in the affluent Skyline Drive area early Saturday morning. She was found with a nylon stocking around her neck while kneeling with her head resting against a small tree. She was partially clothed, wearing only a bra and pants. It is believed she was there no longer than 9 hours, as police said rigor mortis had not set in by the time officers arrived on the scene. A group of people walking in the area found the woman's body shortly after 6 a.m., police said. The third tragedy involved the death of a 45-year-old man who became the country's 50th murder victim of the year when he was shot while asleep in his bed early Tuesday morning. The victim was identified by police as George Bain Jr., a.k.a. Hoover. The Tribune understands he was an employee at the Ministry of Works. Officer in charge of the Central Detective Unit, Superintendent Paul Rule, said the man was found dead in his bed at around 7:30 a.m. in his home off Shirley Street. The $3.5 billion murder report Bahama was at the center of more controversy after judges him that they were told that Bahama was at the center of more criticism this week as scores of pre-booked guests complained on a leading travel website that they were informed that all reservations throughout August 31st were canceled. It came despite assurances by Bahama CEO Sarkis Ismailian that the $3.5 billion mega resort would soon open. They have criticized hotel management on TripAdvisor for ruining their vacations. The guests also claim they were offered unsatisfactory alternative accommodations and not compensated enough for their losses. Meanwhile, Robert Sandy Sands, Bahama's Senior Vice President of External and Governmental Affairs, could not confirm an opening date for the resort. He said this was still being discussed with Bahama advisors. He spoke to the Tribune following a meeting with Prime Minister Perry Christie and Mr. Ismailian to discuss issues surrounding Bahama's repeated delays, a source confirmed. Mr. Christie has expressed concern that there could be job layoffs at the property even before it officially opens. However, Bahama has declined comment. Issues surrounding the 2012 Rubis fuel leak in Marathon have captivated headlines all week. On Monday night, frustrated Marathon residents demanded that the government reconsider the number of households affected by the Rubis fuel spill at the Robinson Road and Old Trail Road service station. More than 200 people flocked to the volatile town hall meeting held at Grace Community Church to address the exclusive concerns of residents in Regency Park, Highbury Park, and Palmetto Village. Pointing to numerous cancer deaths and blood-related diseases that were said to have proliferated in the community, residents railed against reports of inadequate testing in their community and accused the government of negligence in its role to protect public health. It came on the heels of a confirmation that the Ministry of Health's Chief Medical Officer would begin meeting with Marathon residents on Monday, with health screenings expected to be complete by June 1st. Stemming from the incident, at least 3 sick Cable Bahamas employees are preparing litigation against their employer and Rubis Bahamas over the underground gasoline leak. The workers plan to file their case within the next few days, as they did not feel that they were included in the present litigation filed by the Cable Bahamas against Rubis. Port Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rollins has said the scandal is unacceptable. The inaugural Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival kicked off on Thursday, and according to Bahamas National Festival Commission Chairman Paul Major, the 3-day event is expected to inject $50 million into the Bahamas' economy. Mr. Major also said that due to the significant turnout at the festival's kickoff weekend in Grand Bahama last month, an even greater crowd is expected to attend Junkanoo Carnival in New Providence. He estimated that between 50,000 to 100,000 travelers would participate in the 3-day event. Mr. Major said Grand Bahama's festival had a gross domestic product impact of around $17 million. Festival organizers originally expected an overall GDP impact of $30 million in incremental revenue from Carnival. Mr. Major's comments came just hours before Prime Minister Perry Christie officially launched Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival here in New Providence. Bahamians, with a good number of tourists, flocked to the Western Esplanade to witness and participate in the official launch.
Want to get in on the discussion? Well, here's the plan. You can log on to our website at www.sports.com.